Like giant panda bears, red pandas have a pseudo-thumb, which is basically an extended wrist bone that can function as a thumb but isn't a true appendage. These thumbs help red pandas grip and grasp objects like bamboo and tree branches to feed and move about. According to a 2015 study, the false thumbs were inherited from a primitive member of the red panda family that also lived in trees but had more carnivorous eating habits. Despite sharing a name, red pandas aren't in the same family as giant pandas. Red pandas were initially described as members of the raccoon family, Procyonidae, due to their similar heads and tails. More recent discoveries have placed red pandas in their own distinct scientific family known as Ailuridae, more closely related to skunks and weasels than to the giant panda bear. While the red panda was originally thought to be one species made up of two subspecies, new genetic studies have found that there are actually two distinct species of the red panda, the Himalayan red panda and the Chinese red panda. Researchers in China found that two separate species had formed about 250,000 years ago when populations were divided by the Yalu-Zangbu River. The Himalayan red panda tends to have more white on its face, while the Chinese red panda is larger with darker fur. Red pandas feed selectively on the leaf tips and shoots of the bamboo plant. They prefer short and robust bamboo shoots over tall ones. Although their digestive system is not very good at processing the cellulose components of the plant cell, bamboo makes up 90% of their meals, while the remaining 10% is mostly comprised of berries, eggs, mushrooms, flowers, birds, and maple and mulberry leaves. Red pandas aren't strict vegetarians. They also forage for insects, grubs, and even birds and small mammals. They have the digestive anatomy of a carnivore that specializes in digesting protein and fats rather than the plant fibers and carbohydrates that make up most of their meals. 5 red pandas also possess traces of the umami taste receptor gene TAS1R1, which allows them to perceive components of meat and other protein-rich foods. Fossils found at the Gray Fossil Site in Tennessee suggest that ancient relatives of the living red panda inhabited North America between 4.5 and 12 million years ago. Known as the Bristol's panda, Pristinilaris bristoli, the ancient panda was first discovered in 2004, when researchers from East Tennessee State University found skeletal fragments and a single tooth at the famous fossil site. The fossils were found to belong to an undiscovered ancient species, and a more complete jawbone specimen was uncovered a few years later. Baby red pandas are about as cute as you'd imagine, weighing anywhere from 3 to 4 ounces at birth. Cubs are born completely covered in fur to protect them from their high-altitude cold environments. Red panda offspring stay with their mothers until they are fully grown, which takes about a year. Red panda females have low birth rates in the wild and on average only deliver 2 cubs per year. What's worse, panda mortality rate is high in their wild habitats, where parasites are also a concern. A study of Nepalese red pandas found that they are highly susceptible to deadly endoparasites, with a parasite prevalence of 90.80% in the population studied. Similar issues are recorded in captive red pandas. Records of institutions holding captive red pandas in Europe between 1992 and 2012 revealed that 40.2% of total panda deaths were among cubs under 30 days of age, with pneumonia listed as the most common cause of death.